everyone and welcome back to another Palazzo episode.
Hope you've had a good new year and a nice Christmas. We start where we left off in the last video in December.
In this episode we will get started with the pointing.
And a very exciting part for us that we've been looking forward to is the opening and enlarging of the windows.
Enjoy!
Le finestre sono diventata una figata, vieni.
Hold on, because before we show you how the windows turn out, we actually have to take a few steps back. So the first thing we had to do after the sanding was actually to remove all the sand that came out from the sanding machine. We used a stone sieve and we divided the thinner from the bigger stuff so that we could reuse the thin sand into our other project. We pulled then all the sand down from the second floor down the stairs and from the first floor as well down the stairs, and then collected at the end into wheelbarrows and brought it down onto our other project. If you check out our last Roma video from January, link below, you can see how we use the sand.
Wall which we call rustico, and I've pointed this part during the period of Christmas. It was quite a job, took me like
very long.
3 days, and every time I thought it's done, somebody came, yeah, here's another hole. Anyhow, now it's done. And last week we had a really heavy rain in this area with a lot of wind. We have not been here, but people told us that water came in everywhere. And you can see now that the wall is quite wet. And it seems that it comes from the outside, because the outside of the stone building is not pointed. So, yeah, it might happen again. You see, it's all clay.
Now you have to
It
go
should
outside
breathe.
and repoint the wall outside as well.
Should I need some
possible,
scaffolding. I need some scaffolding because it's like 10 meters high. And now we see when it's dry, it shouldn't happen anything, but when it's painted, when it's white on top, it might stain the wall. We'll see.
Like the wall in the bedroom that we saw earlier with the finished effect a faccia vista, we will give all the door frames the same look. So we need to clean between the bricks and the stones and then refill it. We used lime mortar and some really interesting and funny looking tools that my mum purchased to help us push all the material between the gaps. Then we let it dry and brushed away all the excess.
and we backfill with new mortar so we can check the beams and check everything's okay with the flooring above as well.
now the rustica, so the room 3. So here's the door, so we come in the door, and then on the left we need a switch at 80 centimeters high. So when you come in, there is a switch for the light that switches this light on.
But we need as well a plug in like 30 centimeters.
Yeah. So we put a 3
With a
pin.
shuko, which means we have a 3-pin with
Yeah.
a normal plug and a shuko plug.
Okay.
So we can attack a vacuum or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the switch higher than for the light. So that means we need a gargarozzo.
So whilst Davide gets started fitting the mounting boxes, I thought I'd quickly explain for anyone that hasn't been to Italy that we have 3 different types of plugs here. We will start with the 2 different types of 3 pins or type L plugs. Until mid-60s, 1970, Italian households had 2 separate types of electrical systems, one at 127 volts for lighting and smaller appliances, and then a bigger, chunkier 220 volt system to power more hungry household appliances. And quite interestingly about that is that each circuit had an independent power meter and was built differently depending on the type of circuit you were using. So if you use more of the 127 volt or the 220, there were literally 2 individual bills. So the largest 16 amp circuit was referred to as industriale or industrial, and the 10 amp was referred to as luce, meaning lights. As the system was updated, eventually all the system was running at 220 volts, and this gave birth to another type of socket called the bypasso, which is a combination of both this small 16 amp and 10 amp system. The third more common plug now is the shuko plug, and this word is shortened from the German name Schutzkontakt, which literally means protective contact, and that's equipped with a earth around the plug instead of the middle pin being the earth contact. So in the end, when we're picking what plugs and sockets we're having in the wall, it's going to be a combination most likely of the bypasso and the shuko sockets.
Meglio così.
Allora.
Per la rubrica riuso.
Prendo queste macerie che sono per la maggior parte sassolini, terra e calce, rosso e calcio, per dividere la sabbia tra i sassolini, perché questa sabbia si può riusare per fare i macetti. In questo modo si evita di dover portare via da 2 piani la sabbia e poi riportare 2 piani su la sabbia nuova. E questo è un bel liquido. E qui si butterà poi dal tubo per le macerie in giro. Per esempio questo Mortar. Così da un secchio di macerie diventa un terzo di sabbia.
Now that the windows are made larger, we were hoping to build them ourselves, to experiment a bit and learn how to do that. Rob got particularly excited about the idea, especially about buying some new tools. But after doing some research, we realized that in Italy, it's not a thing that you can just do yourself because they need to be certified. So you have to call a certified company that does them for you. They need to be soundproof, up to 40 decibel, for example. And we called the joiner now that took some measurements and is working on them. we not only lowered the window seal, so making them longer that way, but we also cleaned up the arches on top, giving it that rustic look. And that means that the window itself will have a rounded top, allowing also more light in.